My favorite memory as an MIT student athlete and an MIT baseball player is winning the NEWMAC championship in 2019 and playing in the NCAA regional at Southern Maine. That was a really interesting year for us because we started pretty slowly, but the second half of that season was definitely the most fun baseball experience that I've had and the best group of guys that I've played with. And I'm happy to say I keep in touch with a lot of those guys that have graduated and gone on even today, and we'll keep in touch with them in the future.
My favorite memory is probably competing in the Head of the Charles race. It was an iconic race and that we practiced very hard for, and it was super amazing to have my friends and family also watch along the Charles River.
My favorite memory of being on the MIT tennis team was clinching in the conference championship in 2018, which was my freshman year. I started at line 5, which was a really nice surprise, and my victory ended up securing our 20th conference title. So that was a really special moment for me.
Being a student athlete at MIT has been one of the most rewarding experiences I could ever ask for. I get to play the sport I love alongside some of my best friends, people who are the smartest people in the world, who are constantly challenging me and pushing me to new levels that I never imagined. This experience has caused me to grow in so many ways. I've been able to play a sport that I love and make alongside my best friends who are of course my teammates, but that have become my classmates, become future roommates, future coworkers, etc. And so it's connected to me to people that are honestly the most important people to me at MIT, and it's constantly given me that athletic outlet to just play and have a good time after a long day of school. And so that's what being a student athlete at MIT means to me.
So rifle is a really interesting sport because the vast majority of us on the team are people who came in with no experience shooting competitively, and in fact, most of us came in with no shooting experience really at all. Maybe like BB guns, airsoft, but nothing like what we do in the range. And what that means to me is that we're a group of people who are here at MIT doing math, science, tech. We're not here because we wanted to do rifle. It's just something that we all collectively sort of stumbled across and tried out and all fell in love with. So I'd say what it means to me to be a student athlete at MIT is being part of a fantastic community of people who are all curious and driven to do the best they can and always supporting each other to be the best that we can inside and outside the range.
To be an MIT student athlete means after long days of exercising your brain and working really hard in classes, you get the chance to exercise your body and be with a bunch of friends and people that you may not have met or known otherwise. So together with a bunch of amazing people who share your love of sport, you get to work on dedication and building leadership skills. And for me, it's really instilled in me a love of lifelong athleticism and being able to exercise as a form of stress relief and having fun. In fact, I actually just completed my first ever sprint triathlon, which was really exciting, and I am excited to continue doing those types of things in the future, all because of my foundation in MIT athletics.
I'm also a part of the concert choir here at MIT, and although it's really gratifying in itself, there was one year where schedules lined up perfectly and a huge group of my teammates came out to support me for a concert that I had a solo in. That meant a lot to me.
My favorite memory from being an MIT student athlete was when our team traveled to Chicago for our winter tournament my sophomore year. It was so fun because we not only got to fly to Chicago and stay in a hotel for a weekend, but we played 2 really great games against good competition, and then still had plenty of free time to go and explore the city and see the sights of Chicago during the wintertime. It was really great to get to go to a new place I'd never been and get to experience that moment with all of my teammates and enjoy team bonding in the beginning of the season.
My favorite lacrosse memory at MIT was beating Babson to earn a better seed entering the NEWMAC playoffs in 2019. We were down 9-4 at halftime and ended up winning 13-12 in the last few minutes. And the atmosphere was absolutely electric, and I'll never forget it. For us to come from behind the way we did really showed the heart that our team had and the belief our coaches had in us. And I'm devastated that we lost our last 2 seasons, but I know the direction that this program is heading under Coach O'Keefe. And I can't wait to come back next year to watch some games and witness the first of many NEWMAC championships for MIT lacrosse.
When you become a student athlete at MIT, you inherit a program that's been curated and passed down by previous players, and it's your job to spend your time making it better than how you found it for all who come after you. Your time is so limited on the team, but when you leave, what you leave behind, which is a legacy of not your stats or how many games you won, but the culture you create, is something that you can appreciate when watching the team compete in future years.
Being an MIT student athlete has really defined my whole experience at MIT. I've met some of my best friends ever through MIT athletics, and I know I would have not had the same success as a student or the same growth as a person without being a part of MIT football.
I can't pick just one favorite memory from MIT in general, but I really cherish all the times I've spent with my friends just hanging out in our dorm or going to explore Boston.
My favorite memories of being a student athlete are the little things, really. Everything that has gone around lacrosse, I've always loved. I think the team dinners after practices, the locker room before, any lifts, anything like that. Just those interactions with the team every day, and being around the same guys from 5 to 7. It's been great to always be around the guys, and that'll always be my favorite memory. Just the time that we got to spend together.
So my favorite memory as an MIT student athlete would be from my freshman year on the tennis team. I remember just the seniors being such a force and being so welcoming, and I felt right at home with them. And then my freshman year, our team did so incredibly well, and we obviously had all of the ups and downs, but I really felt like we were all in it together, cheering on each other's successes and supporting each other through all of the losses. But specifically, I'll always remember when my teammate Dora clutched our win against Tufts that brought us to my first NCAA tournament in California. And that moment was so exciting for me. And when she won, I felt all of the energy and just pure joy that it brought to all of I felt like all of our hard work had paid off. And that NCAA tournament wasn't a huge success, but it was just so fun to be part of. Like the rest of my MIT tennis career has compared similarly to that excitement, but in completely different ways. Even just being able to practice with the team now without competition throughout COVID, it felt extremely exciting for me because I just get to see the MIT tennis team every week. So it's just hard to pinpoint one memory as there's been so many great times, and I'm just really grateful for the memories and the advice and amazing family that the MIT women's tennis team has gave me over my 4 years at MIT.
So I guess one of my favorite things about being an MIT athlete, I'm on the football team, but one of my favorite things that I think all athletes can relate to is like going to the training room before practices and hanging out with some of the other athletes on your team as well as like the other teams, getting to interact with the trainers who are all really nice, and just having that nice break in your day going from classes before going to your practices.